Okay, so if you don't understand this HTML, then you will not understand the concepts whatever I'm going to teach you from Monday. Okay, this is very important concept. Everybody look at my screen. HTML. HTML stands for hypertext markup language. Okay, HTML stands for what? HTML stands for hypertext markup language. Okay, it is a language used by, okay, it is a language used by web developers, web developers or web designers. Correct? So it's a language used by what? Web developers. It's a language used for whom? Web developers, web designers to develop the application. So all your web application, your Facebook, Flipkart, Amazon, LinkedIn, Google, everything is developed using a language called as what? HTML. Any web application you take, all the web application you are going to automate using a language called HTML. Now you can ask me a question. Ma'am, we are not developing any application, correct? Are you guys are developing any application? Are you guys are developing? No. Then is it required to learn? Is it required to learn? Yes, because we are going to test the developed application. Why? Because we are going to test the application which is already developed. So it's very important for us to know about this language called as HTML. Clear? Clear? It's very important to know about HTML for us. Clear? Clear? Okay, guys. Now, HTML, now let me tell you. HTML, it consists of, it consists of three elements. HTML consists of three elements. Let's try to understand in detail about these three elements. The first one is called as the tag, tag name. Second one is called as attributes. And the third one is called as text. Okay, your complete HTML. Okay, your complete HTML is developed using only these three elements: tag name, attributes, text. Okay, tag name, attributes, and text. Now let's understand what do you mean by tag name? What do you mean by tag name? Anything, anything enclosed within angular bracket or started with angular bracket. Anything which is enclosed with an angular bracket or started with angular bracket, we call that as tags. Clear? Anything which is enclosed within an angular bracket, anything it can be. Don't worry what is there. Okay, it's none of our business. Don't worry what is there. Anything which is enclosed within the angular bracket or started with the angular bracket is called as the tag name. Example. It can be anything enclosed or started with the angular bracket. Okay, this is called as the tag name. Okay, anything within the angular bracket or started within the angular bracket is called as a tag name. It can be a word or it can be a letter. Okay, It can be a word or it can be a letter. Are you understanding? Are you understanding? It can be a word or it can be a letter. Okay, the first letter or the first word, okay, we call it as a tag. Remember, a first letter or the first word. So anything enclosed within the angular bracket, started with the angular bracket, is called as a tag name. The first letter or the first word, we call it as the tag name. It can be a word or it can be a letter. Everybody understood. It can be anything. Usually it will not be numbers or special characters. It will be always a word or a letter only. Always it will be a word or a letter. Everybody is clear. Guys, this is very important. It looks so simple, easy. Correct? But it is very, 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 very important. Okay? Everybody understood? Anything enclosed within the angular bracket or started with the angular bracket, we call it as the tag name. It can be a word or it can be a letter. Usually it will be a word or a letter only. It will not be number or special characters, nothing like that. Okay? Clear? Clear? Next. Attributes. Attributes. What is this attributes? Anything, anything which is combination of anything which is combination of name and value pair is called as attribute. Anything, don't worry about it, this should be this, okay? Anything which is combination of name and value pair, we call it as attributes. Okay, anything which is combination of name and value pair, we call it as what? Attributes. Clear? Clear? Example: ABC is equals to XYZ. Okay, next PQR is equals to LMN. Input equals to text. So it can be anything. So this combination we call it as what? Attribute. So anything which is in the combination of name and value pair, we call it as a attribute. This complete set we call it as what? Attributes. Okay, this we call it as attribute name and this we call it as attribute value. Name and value pair. This combined together we call it as attribute. So anything which is in the is a combination of name and value pair, anything which is written in this format, we call it as attributes. We call it as attributes. Understood? Anything which is in a combination of name and value pair, we call it as what? Attributes. Clear? It can be double quotes or single quotes. That is not worry. That's okay. Still fine. Double quotes or single quotes. This should be in the combination of name value pair. That's all. It should be in the combination of what? Name value pair. So anything which is a combination of name and value pair. Okay? Anything which is a combination what? Name and value pair. We call it as what? Attributes. Clear? Clear? Everyone is clear? Clear? Hmm. Next one. Text. Next one. Text. Anything. Anything which is written. Anything which is written outside the angular bracket. One second. Angular bracket. Okay. Anything which is written outside the angular bracket is called as the text. Clear? Anything which is written outside, anything which is written outside the angular bracket, we call it as text. Example, okay, input outside. Now, what's the text here? What's the text here? Q spiders. Guys, this we call it as opening tag, and this we call it as closing tag. Opening tag and closing tag. Can you see when there's one slash input? There's one forward slash in input. Can you see there is one forward slash in input? Correct, right? So this is a opening tag, this is a closing tag, and this is the text. This is the text. So don't get confused, ma'am. What is that? Okay, that is not even closing tag. So we have opened and we are closing it by using a forward slash. That's a closing tag. So this is called as the text. So understood what is text? Anything which is written outside the angular bracket, we call it as the text. Very important. Very important. It looks very simple, easy, but it is very important. Everybody is clear till here? Everybody is clear till here? Super. Make a note. Newcomers understand it's an individual topic. It's an individual topic, so everybody can understand. There's no continuity or something we are doing. Okay. I hope everybody is understanding in the class, whether it's a newcomer who have joined from day one, whoever it is. It's an individual topic. Everybody will be able to understand. Okay. Please start making a note. Start writing a note. input type is equals to text, ID is equals to ABC. Okay, tell me guys. So what is a tag name here? Everybody should tell me. What's a tag name here?
Input type equal to text ID ABC.
Input, ma'am. What's a tag name?
Input.
Tag name is what? Input. Input is tag name.
Input.
How many attribute it has?
Input.
How many attribute it has?
Reactivate.
Two attributes. How many attributes it has? It has two attributes. Which are those?
Type is
Which are
equal.
those? One is type is equals to text. This is one pair of attributes. And this is what? One pair of attributes. Okay. Everybody understood the example number one? Everybody understood the example number one? Example number two. Example number two. Input ID is equals to ABC, Q spiders, and input. So what's a tag name? What's a tag name? How many attributes are there? How many attributes are there? One. Which are those? This is attributes. So what is a text here? What's a text here? What's a text here? This is the text. This is the text. This is your text. Okay. Next. Third example. Third example. A. What's a tag name here? What's a tag name here? How many attributes are there? How many attributes are there? Zero. What's a text here? What's a text? What's a text? Is that text? Okay. Now, fourth example. Input type is equals to text. ID is equals to ABC. Name is equals to PWD. Okay. Tell me, what's a tag name? What's a tag name? Input. How many attributes it has? How many attributes it has? Three attributes. One attribute, two attribute, and three attributes. Everybody is clear? Everybody is clear? Yes? Everybody is clear? Okay, make it. Everybody is clear. Everybody understood what's a tag, how to identify attributes, how to identify the text. Yeah, make a note of the examples. Make a note of the example. Let's develop one simple sample application. Okay, ma'am, is it required for us? No, it is to just to build your confidence that yes, we also know the HTML. Okay, let's develop the application. One small application, let's develop. Okay, can we develop the application? A small web page. One small web page, let's develop. Okay, so you can take anything, notepad, notepad, plus, anything you can take. Okay, now look at my screen. Now look at my screen. Okay. So here always HTML, we are going to start up with a tag called HTML. Okay. So this is a HTML is a tag. Okay. Under this HTML tag, we will always have a tag called header. Okay. Head is a tag. Look at my screen, everyone. Head is a tag. Okay. Inside this tag called head, so when you consider an application, if you consider any application, application will have a title. So when I'm explaining this, I was showing the titles, correct, right? Application will have a titles, yes or no? Example, I will show it to you. Now look at here. If you go to amazon.com, so this is the title of the page. What's the title of the page? Amazon.com, spend less, smile more. Okay. If you go to flipkart.com, what is the title of this flipkart.com? What's the title of this one? Online shopping site for mobile, electronics, furniture, grocery, flipkart.com. Correct, right? So if I go to Mindra, what is the title of this page? What's the title? Online shopping for women, men. Where is it? Online shopping for women, men, kids, fashion, and lifestyle, Myntra.com. Yes. So these are called as a titles. Okay. Remember, titles will always be present in the tag called header. It will be present in the tag called header. So let me give a title to my page also. Okay. I'll write it is a sample web page. Okay. This is the title for my page. What is this? This is the title for my page. Understanding? Okay. Inside a header, usually will have a title. So all these are very important. Where do you get the title? Always a title will be present inside the header tag. So let me close the header. Means I have done the usage of this header. Once the usage of the header is done, you have to do the closing of it. It is very important in HTML. Once you open, you have to close it down. Understood? Clear? Everybody's clear till here? Super. Next, always in a header we will have the title. Let's come to the body. Let's come to the body. Now let's take the body part. In the body, you can develop the username, password, radio button, check buttons, all these things you can develop. So let's develop. So I wanted the username text box. Okay, so I have given you the tag to develop the text box. What is the attributes, guys? What's the attributes? To develop the text box, I've given you the list, no? What is the attribute? Type is equals to text. So what is a tag name? Tag name is input. So we have type is equals to text. Okay, type is equals to text. Very simple. Type is equals to text. So I just wanted to write it as username. This is what? Username. Similarly, for password is also textbooks. Correct it? What is an attribute? Password. I've just given you the list right now. What's a tag for it? Input type is equals to text. Type is equals to text. Now, tell me for radio buttons. I want to develop a radio button. Tell me. How do I develop a radio button? Radio button also I've given you. Go through that. Radio input type is equals to a radio. Type is equals to what? A radio. Okay. Next comes to your checkbox. Checkbox. So what will you write in checkbox? Input type is equals to checkbox. So you wanted to write some text inside that. Do you wanted to write some text inside that? You can write here. For example, forgot password. You want to write something? You can write it here. What is the thing? Forgot password. Forgot password is the checkbox. Okay. So you can write that here. Text, anything you want to write text, you can write forgot password. So once you open, you have to close this tag input. Okay. Next, I wanted one button. So what's a tag for button? Input type is equals to button. Button. So you want to give a value for that button? You want to give a value for that button? You can make it. You can make it as it's a login. You can make it as login. And you have to do closing of the tag. You have to do the closing of that tag login. Okay. Now I want to generate a link. How do I generate a link? Tag called a. Tag is what? This is for the link. Okay. So what is a tag here? Anchor tag a href equals to some URL. Okay. Some URL. I want to give you the URL of some application. Okay. Mintra. Copy down this. This is a link. I'm copying this link and I'm just pasting here. Mintra.com. So if you want to give you the text also, you can give it as what? Mintra dash A. Clear? 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 Okay. Now I want to develop one drop down. I want to develop one drop down. What's a tag to develop the drop down? What's a tag to develop? Select. Select. Correct, right? What's a tag name? What's an attribute? What's an attribute? ID. We have an attribute called as ID. Okay. Now. So, in order to, so in a drop down, you'll have multiple elements. Options will be there. Correct, right? Multiple options will be there. That I'll show it to you. Now, enough. Everybody's clear till here? Now, let me close the body. So, body is done. Let me close the body and let me close the HTML. Clear? Let me close the body. Let me close the HTML. This is clear. This is clear. Okay. So once after writing, make a note, make a note. Once after writing the code, make a note. Once after writing the code, once after writing the code, you have to save this file, save this file, save this. Okay, you have to save with name sample dot html. You have to save with the extension called as html. Okay, you have to save with the tag called, sorry, you have to save with the extension called as html. Okay, you have to save with the tag called what? HTML. Everybody, have you made a note of it? So once after you write the code, you have to save with the HTML. Now let me open that. See, sample.html. Let me open that. Now, can you see this? Can you see this username, password, radio, checkbox, login? Everything is there in one, what is that? One line. It looks so bad. Correct, right? Everything is there in one line. It does look so bad. Correct, right? Now, if I wanted to give one by one, if I want to give one by one, so I can use the BR. BR means break statement. BR means what? Break statement to come to the next line. I want it to come to the next line. Okay, so I am just going to give the break statement. BR means break. So in order to make it to come to the next line, see here, I'll make every one to come to the next line. Okay, save it. Save it. Now Now you just refresh the page. Refresh the page. Are you able to see? Username, password, radio button, checkbox, button, link, drop down. But drop down, there is no option. We can create options also. Okay. But in a drop down, we have not created, but we can create an options as well. Okay. Everybody understood? Everybody understood? Yes, this why I'm asking you to develop is just to make sure what the you can also give little more break statements. It is so closer, correct, right? Break it if you want. You break it. It is so closer. Use some more break statements and you can make it bigger. Some more break statements. You can use it. Save it. Refresh. Save it. Refresh the page. Save this, see here, refresh it, that will get reflected. That will get reflected. So everybody understood how do you develop this text box, username, password, drop downs. Everybody's clear with the tag name. Everybody's clear with the tag name. Okay, did you understand? See, what's the main intention of doing this? You guys should be understanding about the tag names and the attributes because that is very, very important for us. Okay, that's very important for us to learn the next concept. Everybody's clear? Everybody's clear? Note of it and develop one thing. Start right. Yes, you can take notepad, edit plus plus anything. Anything you can take. Not required. Not required. Not required to use. Make a note. Once after you write down this. Okay. Once after writing the code, once after writing the code, okay, save the file with dot html extension. html extension and click on the file. That's all. Save it and click on that file. It will open. It will open. So once after writing the code, what you need to do, you have to save it with what? Any name, but extension should be what? .html. Click on the file, you can open. So everybody done. Everybody got a confidence about how the elements are built using HTML. Everybody understood tag names, attributes, text. Everybody is clear. Everyone is clear. Okay. Ma'am, how to add drop down options? It's not required for us, but since you guys have asked, let me show you. Okay, ma'am, how do you add options in the drop down? Very simple. Okay, where you have to write a tag called option. It's not required for us, guys. So option. Okay, 1 minute, wait. Let me check it out once. Hmm. So here you have to write option value is equals to something something. Okay, then you have to write it as coffee and option. This is how you have to add it. This is how you have to add the options. Okay, this is how you are going to add the option if it is wanted. This one is not required for us. Okay, so if you wanted to add it, you can add it. Okay, so I'll just add it as coffee, tea, milk, Okay, that's all. Save it, save it, go to that web page. Where is that web page? And refresh. See, options has been appeared. Okay. This activity we have done just to understand. We are not developing any application, it's not required. Okay. If we are not developing any application, it is not required for us. Okay, it's not required for us. Okay, how to add an image, you have to take a photo, you have to give the path of that location. Okay guys, listen, it's not required for us. Okay, let us stop here. Just this exercise was done. Okay, this exercise was done just to identify how the elements has been developed, in order to teach you guys what is tags, attributes and text. That's all. Okay, so don't need to put border or don't need to do anything, so that is not required for us. This is just a exercise where you guys are feel comfortable about tags, attributes and text. Clear? Consists of radio buttons, it consists of link, forgot password, link. Correct? Everybody agrees? Correct. Now tell me, what is an action will you do? What action will you do it on username and password text field? What's an action will you do? What's an action will you do, guys? You people will do typing action. Login button. What's an action will you do it on button? What's an action will you do it on the button? Click. What is an action will you do it on radio buttons? What's an action will you do it on radio buttons? What's an action will you do it on the link? Correct, right? Correct, right? Now, before before performing any action, before performing any action, before performing any action such as typing, clicking, selecting, and deleting and deleting. We need to check. We need to check for the presence of the element. We need to check for the presence of. We need to check for the presence of the element. Yes or no? Everybody agrees. So before you perform any actions, correct, right? We need to check for the presence of the element. If element is present only, you can perform action. If element is not present, can you perform an action? If students are not there in the class, can I do a lesson? Can I teach your people? No. So before performing any actions, I need to check whether the element is present. Yes or no? Yes or no? Before performing any actions, okay, I need to check for the presence of the element. To check for the presence of the element, we go with a concept called as locators. We go with a concept called as locators. Are you understanding? Okay, why are we studying the concept called locators? Everybody understood? Why are we studying this concept? Before performing any operation such as typing, clicking, selecting, deleting, we need to check the presence of the element. To check the presence of the element, we go with the concept called as locators. This is the core concept of Selenium. Everybody agrees? Because we need to check the presence, then you have to perform actions on it. If element is present, I'll perform. If element is not there, I'll not perform. This is the core concepts of Selenium. Very important concept of Selenium. Okay, which I'm going to start it from Monday. Okay, So I just gave you the gist of it. Okay. So we are going to start it from